Welcome everybody. I hope everyone's well, you and your family and your friends. I see that Wisconsin has got the dubious distinction now of leading the nation in COVID cases per capita. So just wishing everybody well. So today we're going to follow a little bit the 7 factors of awakening, which is something that the Buddha taught. Just real briefly, I'll just go through them. So the first is mindfulness. This is the gateway, and I mean, there's lots of definitions of mindfulness, but I guess one way to understand it is if you're doing, say you're doing a breath meditation and you're feeling the breath and so on, and then suddenly your mind takes you away. And then there's a moment where you realize you've been taken away and you come back. So that's mindfulness. So mindfulness is kind of this quality of being awake, being present, okay? But that's just the first factor, okay? So all these mindfulness courses and everything that are out there, these secular things, the things we teach in prison, and it's all great. It's all great, and it works. And it's the first of 7 factors of awakening, mindfulness, okay? So the second one we're not going to go into. The second one is investigation, and that's where you use your curiosity and you use your ability to look deeply into a situation or into whatever's arising. So mindfulness is sort of always, it's there for all 7 of these, okay? So there's mindfulness, and then within mindfulness there's investigation. So like, let's say we're mindful of a problem. Say we're aware now that there's racism, okay? And then, so then we're going to investigate that. We're going to learn about that and sort of look deeply into that. The third is energy. And the only thing I want to say about that is that there's, the Taoists would say qi, the Buddhists say energy. It's the same, and that mindfulness and then investigation. And once something is unraveled, or we reach some kind of an understanding, it releases this energy for acting. And the energy, as it intensifies, brings on the 4th factor, which is joy. Okay, and this is sort of joy for no reason. Not joy because of something, but just joy for no reason. And we can feel that, the energy and the joy we can feel in Qigong. Really, we can really access those directly. And I know that you all have. You can access those directly. A sense of joy, a lightness, and a feeling of energy, feeling the qi in the body. Okay, so that's the third and the fourth. The thing about joy, though, that we know is that it's really not sustainable, because joy is kind of a high energy state as compared to, say, contentment. Contentment is more of a low energy state. But we can feel joy and be joyful and so on. But we know that that's not, for most of us anyway, not really a sustainable place to be. And so what the ancient Buddhists said is that then that gives rise to ease. And this is where we're kind of going tonight here. So the joy is very high energy. The ease is just smooth. And that's a place we can rest. We can remain in ease. And the Theravadins, one of their blessings is, may you live with ease. May you live with ease. It doesn't mean may your life be easy necessarily, but it means that you can rest, and that you can feel like you don't need anything more than just this moment. So ease. So I think we've all touched into that in Qigong too, that there's a sense of ease and stillness. Okay. The problem with ease, so the problem with joy is you can't maintain it all the time. The problem with ease is that we can get too comfortable. You all know this, right? You can reach a point in your practice where, you just love to meditate, or you love to do whatever your practice might be, whether it's Qigong or painting pictures or whatever it might be. And you get so comfortable in it, right? And that's a good thing. But that means we're blocking out a lot of reality, doesn't it? Because everything isn't comfortable in the world, really, is it? So the next one is what they translate as concentration, which I think is a mistranslation. It just means that we're embracing everything. Everything is concentrated into this moment. We're not rejecting bad things or bad people, or we're not rejecting anything. Okay, and so in meditation, we can reach kind of a place of ease in meditation and in Qigong. And that by its nature means that some things are not being allowed in, okay, because it's ease. And this is where we're going to go tonight. And so then the concentration, you have to get bigger in order to allow everything in. So when we're meditating, after a while, if the thoughts get thin and we don't, not too many of them, and we're just in a place of ease, at a certain point when a thought comes up, we're just going to allow it. Okay, so this is different from mindfulness. In mindfulness, we'll say, oh, a thought's coming up, go back to no. This is, we're going to allow everything. We're going to allow everything to be, and we're going to include it all. So that's kind of a state. That's like, you see my arms are doing this, because this is like embracing the world. We do heaven and earth, and then so this is concentration, not in the focused kind of thing, but just in allowing everything to be. Okay, and then that finally leads to the seventh one, which is equanimity. Which is, we do this all the time. It's about balance. Equanimity is another word for balance, I think. Okay, so I just wanted to lay this out because the Dharma is very useful to apply. There's not a lot of exposition of Qigong. There's not a lot of study and teaching. It's more a practice. Right. So this is sort of putting it into the context of teachings. Another way to talk about concentration is finding freedom from the tyranny of thinking. To live, as they say in Zen, to live with an unhindered mind. Okay. So this is mindfulness. We're dropping the attention from the thinking mind down into the body. And we're dropping the attention from the body down into the earth. Okay, well, let's go ahead and bow to the directions. North, east, south, west, above, below. So in this position, it's fine to place your hands directly on your body, or leave them a couple inches or so in front of the body, whatever feels right. And let's loosen up the neck and shoulders. Okay, and then moving down. Now, if you can remember opening the 7 gates, there's kind of an echo in this. And so we're opening, like the 4th gate here, that you can sense into opening all of them doing this practice. This is the middle one. So just imagine 3 down below opening, or feel that. And 3 above, so throat, forehead, top of head. Let's do one more. You may feel an activation. Let's do one more. You may feel an activation of the sort of the middle finger here. This is the middle of the body. And then the middle of the hand. Okay. Okay, and then rocking the pelvis. It's very helpful to have the hips be loose. So the ancients would say so that the energy can flow freely. And they're referring to the sort of the acupuncture meridians. But it's also true that you can just, this is where the lower body connects to the upper body. And so if this can be flexible, we're able to move the body all as one. And then circling. All these exercises, and they're very, very old, and they're very gentle. It's not at all like what's popular these days, where we're really, in a lot of cases, overdoing it. I mean, I know there are people who get into really doing maybe too much and injuring themselves. So this is, you don't have to do this a lot. Even if you just do it once a week, it's going to have an effect and keep your hips loose. It's not about feeling the burn. Okay, and let's go into the balance. Balance, according to my sister, who's a very, very well-known martial artist, your balance actually improves with age. And my sister's older than I am, and she says her balance is actually better than it ever was because she's trained so much. So, you know, the image we have of old folks is that they're unsteady. And that doesn't have to be us. I think, you know, balance is very body-mind, and I think if we just stay with it, it improves like anything else would. So Qigong is not the self-defense arm of Taoism, that's Tai Chi. But I think it's self-defense, and the ancients would agree with me. It's self-defense against aging. And we know we're going to age, but we can keep our balance, keep our equanimity as we get older, and in fact, improve it. Okay, so let's go into wave hands through clouds externally. So whatever hand is on top will turn in that direction, switch. So if you focus on the upper hand, on the bubbling well, the palm of the upper hand, so that hand, in a sense, is holding the cosmos. That hand is literally as a manifestation of the sun, the moon, the stars. It's a manifestation of the cosmos. That hand could only have come into being if some giant star exploded, and if our galaxy was created and if our solar system was created. So in fact, if you look into that top hand is a product of the cosmos. It's holding the cosmos. So our eyes are following that hand. So you can imagine that hand is receiving the light of the universe. Left and right. Let's do a couple more. Okay, and then switch the hands. Now the two palms, we're focusing on both palms now. The two palms are interacting with that cosmic presence. And so the body that is resonating with the energy that's being exchanged between the two palms, that's like what's going on in the microcosmic orbit in the body. So this is contained here. The first one was external, and this is internal. So we can focus on the hands and maybe sense into the torso, going up the spine with the in-breath and down the front with the out-breath. Okay, let's reduce. So we're going to end up here at the heart. Okay, so let's do touching heaven and earth. So one hand up, the other goes down. Okay, and now extend. This is not extrasensory perception, it's extended sensory perception. Extending all the way, way, way up and way down. So you can use the eyes, looking way up, looking way down. And now we're bringing down and up. Here, this is about the internal body. Okay, and now, so embracing all that is another term for concentration. that everything is here. Okay, back, and now switch hands. Okay, and now, so with the eyes, let's go ahead and look up. Looking way up, following the pointing of the hand, and up into the universe. And down into the center of the earth. And now let's just leave the eyes neutral. So they can be open or partly closed, not completely closed. And just looking neutrally. Okay. All right, let's bring that together. So now the eyes are neutral, still neutral, and out. And back. Okay, switching hands. And now, let's imagine the extension of the lower hand goes way down into the earth like roots. Extends, goes right down. Roots go down through the bubbling wells in the feet. That's the extension. And then upward, the extension goes up into kind of a mist, a light mist. It means the solidity of the physical realm is breaking down. So as we go up, this is what the fog is, or the rainbow clouds. Going up, 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 until it gets lighter and lighter. It goes into light. Okay, so the hand disappears up into light through the mist. And the lower goes down and roots down into the earth. So we're way extended, and we're right here. That's why the eyes are neutral, because we're both up and down. Okay, let's bring that together. So just bringing the attention into the body now. And now, nothing excluded, embracing everything. And bring that back. Okay, and now the other hand. Okay, so the lower hand and the feet go down in like roots, very solid, or the mountain goes down. Like a mountain going down in the sea, so it's the body's an island, but it goes way, way down. Okay, and keeping the eyes neutral then, and then going up. So there's kind of a fog, rainbow clouds, lightness, light, way, way up. Okay, let's do one more pair. Extend. And come back. Okay, and the last one. Okay, extend. Eyes neutral. But let's send the mind up. So just above the body, there's this kind of this haziness, this fogginess. The objects are just breaking down into their components. And higher, and so sort of rainbow clouds. And then just very rapidly moving photons or atoms or something. And then just pure light way up. Okay, and then coming back. And now let's go ahead and bring up your stool. And so my teacher Ken Cohen recommends the Lan Fa. So the eyes can be closed or slightly open. And let's just focus down into the body, just feel the body. The insides of the body. The body is just an extension of the planet. Okay, and then moving up and sensing the breath. Sensing the movement of the belly, movement of the chest. And bringing the attention up into the head, crown of the head, and out and into the mist. So this mist is all around the body, and it's also in the mind. It is the mind. Now in this place, thoughts are very big and heavy, because everything is very light and atomized. Like the breath comes in, breathe right into the mind, let the breath disperse anything solid. So there's this field of awareness. And thoughts really can't be here because it's too fine. Thoughts are heavy, they're gross. This is very, very fine. This is up. And the feeling part of this is tingling, aliveness. And this is energy, chi, external, internal, in the body, in the air, and in the mind. The mind is energy. And this higher part of the mind, thoughts are down below. This is above that. Okay, with the out breath, moving up more. So the atmosphere is thinner, it's lighter. Things are moving extremely rapidly. There may be high frequency sound or buzzing or silence. This is very thin. And thoughts can't get up here. They're too heavy. And moving up even more. Now, if there is any kind of mental object thinking up here, this is beyond thoughts. This can be insight, this can be narration, images, but they're light. There may be mental activity. This is moving up into what they call the wisdom mind. And moving higher and out. Okay, now extending out. Now this includes everything. This is a very, very high, thin atmospheric place, touching into wisdom mind and so on. And if thoughts appear, that's fine. Physical sensations, that's fine. Distractions from the world, car going by or dog, it's all fine. Not separate from anything. And so this is space of awareness, which is beyond space and time. And at the same time, we are in space and time. We're including all of it. So there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to come back from, and there's nowhere to go to. In this moment, the universe, everything in the universe is present. Okay. So moving back in, going up into the high, very spacious, sort of boundless realm. This is a realm beyond thoughts. This is the realm in which thoughts are too heavy to appear. Smile a little bit. This is a place of ease. This is a place where we can rest. And if we start to sink down and a thought maybe appears, then we just accept it and rise up again. That's okay. Thoughts may be bubbling around, but it's just like the heart beating, just happening. Okay, so this is sort of way up, but the eyes are neutral. Okay, so let's just try, so moving way, way, way up to where things are very dispersed. We may be in touch with wisdom mind. Very, very, very high, very dispersed. And then moving down into the everyday mind and body, the heaviness of the body and the earth. And moving up again. And then we can just rest with all of it. And then there's a place of ease here. The body is breathing, the heart is beating. All these things are happening. The world is active all around us. And we're one with all of it. Okay, so if you begin to sink down and thoughts begin to appear, then bring mindfulness, notice that, and expand out beyond it. Don't try to stop anything. And we can sink down into the body if we want to check it out. Check out the chest, the heart, the bones, the sitting body, the earth. That's included. And then through the barrier of the thinking mind, and then out into the spaciousness and the ease. Okay, well, let's take a few more breaths. So then as we open our eyes completely, they're still neutral. They're not looking up or down. So we can just check in. We know that all that spaciousness is up there and that we're part of that. And we know that all this heaviness of the body and physical world is down here. And then somewhere in between, there's this thinking mind that does not contain us. We can just move right through it. Okay. Okay. So now as we're going to stand up, take your time. So if we just check in with the physical body and we can feel the aliveness in the body, kind of the tingling, the aliveness that's in the body, that reminds us of the aliveness and the spaciousness of the mind and beyond the mind. It's right here. Okay, so let's go into flying crane. Okay, let's reduce the movements. Okay, let's do our ending routine. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So, thank you for your practice. So, please hang around if you have any comments or questions.
You were right about not wanting to leave the place of ease.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it. You just stay in there as long as you want to. It's not like, oh, I got to get out of here. It's just you just need to be aware that it's not the end. I think a lot of meditators get stuck there, sometimes maybe for years, and they go into meditation and it's just this really nice thing, you know, and it's great. But I mean, it is excluding. It's excluding suffering by definition, right? So, but hey, totally enjoy it. You know, it's a fruit of the practice for sure. Did you have a sense, Todd? I mean, just me, just personally. I mean, I get the sense that thoughts are like these really clunky, big, heavy things that just kind of clunk along, and they really don't belong there. Did you get a sense of that?
I think mainly I was aware of how difficult it has been for the last months to get to that place of ease on my own. Because I sit down and it takes me a while to even find my body because my thoughts are going so much.
Right.
So it was kind of that contrast that I was feeling mostly.
Mm-hmm.
But there was certainly thoughts going on up there, for me, it wasn't so much a matter of a heavy feeling as just kind of letting them kind of fly by or something.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's another way to say it. Yeah.
Yeah, when we were in that place, the thoughts felt to me kind of like, I mean, there were still some happening, maybe a little slower than normal, but it was sort of like a radio in the other room or something. You know what I'm saying? They weren't. The first thing that I found to really cling to was when you said stand up. I'm like, no, I don't want to stand up.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
thinking
Well,
happened.
I'm sorry. I'm always a little unsure when to bring, when to end certain things because I'm not
Well,
exactly, but
and it's fine.
yeah,
It's
yeah. As long as they're not the main event, I think that's really what a lot of this is about. We're using the body to help us to realize that all this thinking is mostly, for the most part, is really irrelevant, right? Yeah, but it can just suck up our lives, you know. It can just uh, we can get so lost in it all the time we miss our life, you know.
My ears got really, really warm and really, really tingly. They were just like big old earmuffs, kind of, during part of